SevSide is an area around East 187th Street. Historically, the gangbangers from SevSide have been in alliance with crews from Mount Vernon and Hilltop known as the HTYBs, or Hilltop Young Bosses, or sometimes just YBs. HTYBs being seen mobbing through the streets of the Bronx as early as 2010, with home movies still circulating online to this day, seemingly showing members running their block claiming SevSide or Hilltop, all while hating on their ops and declaring their intention to K or kill any rivals from the 800s, YGs, or OYs.
Very YB, Sev gang out here, the big suit.
Yo, man, YB's up, man. SevSide JJ here, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Shout out to my SevSide.
Now, much like the other gangs we've discussed so far, after a decade of beef and indictments, a modern-day crew out of SevSide would emerge, with some gangbangers from this area identifying as 700 DOA. This is a crew made up of a mixture of different sub-gang sets, like the Mac Baller Brims and Sex Money Murder Bloods, as well as Crip gangs like the Rolling 80s, because you've got to remember that Bronx gang politics is not as simple as Bloods versus Crips. There's a lot of mixed up and overlapping gang sets that you maybe wouldn't expect traditionally to be cool with each other, but some Bloods and Crips might be in alliance under the umbrella of the 700 DOA crew. And to make it even more confusing, 700 DOA from SevSide apparently identify as EBK, or Everybody Killers, meaning that they hate everybody. There might be a few friendships and alliances between some DOAs and OGs, but one thing's for sure, the guys from DOA have furious beef with the likes of the YGs and the OYs, and things can get very confusing and very dangerous indeed. Now, the most famous of the SevSide rappers from the Bronx drill scene is of course K-Flock. But before he was known for his raps, he was just doing his thing in the dangerous streets of the Bronx alongside a couple of his friends. More specifically, Dougie B and B Love, who actually is OGs, with this trio being SevSide natives growing up on 187th Street in Belmont in the Bronx.
Where are you two from and how did y'all get into this music stuff?
From 187.
187. Okay.
Now, it was apparently B Love who started rapping first out of this trio, funnily enough citing his biggest inspiration in the rap game as Chicago drill rapper turned convicted murderer Rondo Number 9.
Chiquis, of course, because
Chiquis number 2, but my son Rondo number 9. He just stepped up.
From here, B Love would end up getting Dougie B and K-Flock in front of the microphone with a little encouragement.
I wasn't really the rapper, it's really the rapper right here. I was playing with this shit at first. I was going to my phone on his side right here, feel me? Right. Going to the studio, playing, for me. And then I started taking it serious. I see, like, I'm going up, for me. My son Love, like, nah, it's time to go take it serious, for me. Start playing.
Little did this trio know that together they would be pioneering one of the biggest musical movements to come out of the Bronx since the 70s. But this would have been hard to appreciate at the time, and despite convincing two of his day one homies to get into the rap game, B-Love himself said that he didn't really see the potential in music initially. It was only after spending some time in prison that he would realise that rapping could be a legitimate way out of the streets upon his release.
What was like the moment for you that really kind of made you want to like do this in a more serious manner?
I got locked up. Put me on a charge. When I came home, like, nah, like, you gotta keep going. I started taking shit serious, man. Really taking shit serious.
But sadly, through their journey into the music industry, there's been a whole lot of setbacks and backstabs. The guys from SevSide used to hang out with another rapper called PNVJ, another rapper from their block who was apparently one of the first people in the Bronx to rap over a UK drill beat and introducing Dougie B to the potential of the music industry.
How'd you get into music?
For me, I don't f with him, but like, for me, PNVJ used to be from my hood. For me, I ain't gonna lie. He did his own thing. He separated. He respected it. Seen somebody for me. Seen another young dirty made it. So it felt like us dirty little could make it.
But despite being inspired to take music seriously by the success of his peer, this didn't mean that hood politics couldn't still get messy. Eventually, Dougie B and PNVJ would start beefing, leading to an apparent chain snatching, with Dougie B being seen posing with the chain online, which would subsequently lead him to spending some time in jail.
It's with the gang.
It's with the gun.
That's this.
No cap.
PNV Side. That's the, come on.
PNV Dodge, though. Shut. Tell him we got the PNV chain on the side.
Shut.
Tell him call me, G.
Come on, shut. My flockers is taking your chain. He even said it, you kid. My flockers is taking your chain, you stupid.
Even K-Flock would be seen bragging on Instagram about the chain snatching too.
We took PNV chain.
Fortunately, Dougie B would find out that his streaming numbers were going up from jail, realizing that there would be an opportunity for him in the rap game when he got out.
Tell my mom, like, check. check K, like check the YouTube shit, like
You got a million views in less than like a
right before I come home, no, I get like for me, I got to for me when I was in some program shit, like they get me on YouTube shit. I seen this, I'm like, I seen him too. I'm like, nah.
But sadly, despite seeing genuine opportunities to make it out of the hood through music, internal beefs between the young men coming up as rappers in the Bronx would get more and more complicated and dangerous. While the SevSide rappers had a historical and long-running beef with YGs like D-Thang, there were formerly alliances between crews too. In fact, it seems at one point that K-Flock was friends with Shah EK from the OGs and E-Dot from the OYs, until an apparent smoking session on IG Live seemed to expose E-Dot would share mutual friends with K-Flock's ops, like D-Thang and the other YGs. K-Flock, apparently upset about the apparent friendliness between his allies and his ops, would be quick to cut people off and fly the flag as EBK or an everybody killer. Now I've got to say that to me, this sort of thinking really shows just how misguided the origins of some of these street beefs are. With the top comment on the video of that smoking session that apparently drove a rift between these two groups, pointing out how absurd it is that people smoking together on live would lead to a breakdown in friendships, with disappointed fans saying, "I can't believe this is the reason that we can't get another Shah EK and K-Flock collab or an E-Dot and K-Flock collab." Now, E-Dot would go on to say that he felt that K-Flock turned on them out of jealousy over E-Dot's budding success in music.
Cause I'm 15, I was 15 with 1 million views. I'm about to be 16 with 2 million views. They ain't never do that before. All my ops, 18, 19, 20, 21. I be for old niggas, straight old. Word of my mother is asking me for songs, bro. Asking me for songs, wanted to be on songs with me. Be mad cause they get a feature with me. Word to my life, that's what it all be about. And they try and make it, they come to the net and try and make it seem like it's something else. It's a whole nother problem. No, you mad cause you ain't get a song with me.
But K-Flock would go on to say, in response to fans saying that E-Dot made a big mistake being on that live, that he doesn't care because the way K-Flock sees it, if a friend smokes with an op by mistake, he can also get shot by mistake. And now he's gunning for E-Dot and anyone he's affiliated with.
You wanna smoke with a op by mistake? You gonna get shot by mistake. What am I, that? When E-Dot see me, word of my mother. And whoever with him, gonna have to run with him. Word of my mother, I ain't gonna lie. Cause bro, word of my dad, nothing is stopping me from upping this gun at that little. Nothing is stopping me. The cops, nothing, bro. Word of my mother, bro. That little better have his gun on him when he see me, bro.
Now look, I agree that seeing an IG live with someone who you thought was your friend, smoking with somebody that's affiliated with your enemy, might be a silly reason for a normal person to end a friendship. But let's not forget that when you're part of a gang, things go a little bit deeper than that. If someone you thought was your friend is with an enemy who says that they're smoking one of your dead friends, that's a bit harder to get past. Furthermore, if you're really that deep in the streets, keeping the wrong friends can be deadly. You can get double-crossed in an instant, and considering just how dangerous the streets of the Bronx can get, getting caught off guard by an enemy or former friend can mean instant death. So now it's time to take a closer look at some of the people who weren't so lucky. Some of the young men who lost their lives before they would really have an opportunity to make it through music or some other way. So let's start off with a name who you might hear referenced frequently in a lot of Bronx drill music. And that name is Wu Lottie.